Okay, God dang it. I have been chattering on like an idiot. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. I've been sitting here chattering on, and ain't nobody heard a thing. What an idiot. I don't know how it got muted. I didn't mute it. I'm such an idiot. I'm sorry. Yes, to answer your previous question, yes, south on Burnett. South on Burnett. I'm not gonna go back through what I was just saying. No, I was talking about the weather, and then I was talking about my dumbass lost my glasses, so now I have to wear my shades if I want to see. And I don't know what I did with my glasses. I can't find them anywhere. My shades are prescription, so if I want to see anything, I've got to wear them. I've got really bad eyesight. Not only am I colorblind, but I'm blind. The professional. I am not headed anywhere in particular. I had explained that, but of course my mic was off. I had planned on covering the weather this afternoon and evening, but of course, as you can see, there is no weather happening. So I have really no plans at the moment other than just this. There's not a whole lot happening in the city right now other than a bunch of car accidents. Let me check again and see what's happening. Let's pull up the dashboard and look at the database. Let's see. So we have traffic accidents, Davis Lane out on 130. Let's see, FM 973. Smoke investigation on Exchange Drive. Fire alarm, 2 fire alarms. So yeah, not a whole lot happening other than car accidents. Man, the clouds back to the west look really cool. So if you are headed home at this point from work, traffic's really not that bad out on the highways right now. I don't know if people thought that maybe it was going to storm a lot worse than it did, maybe headed home early, but the traffic's really not too terribly bad. We dodged a huge bullet today, hail-wise. It was supposed to hail very badly. Weather Service was talking about hail up to the size of apples. That's some pretty big hail. That's hail that could, depending on your house, that's the hail that could go through your roof. Update on, yes, so, so they have arrested the Austin Police Department's organized crime unit, arrested, I think it was 6 people in connection with that. So they actually have on camera a young lady. She was 26 years old. I don't have her name in front of me right now, but there was a young lady. She was 26 years old. I think she was Hispanic, and a black male. The black male would go to her, grab the dope, and then he would go make the delivery, make the transaction, and then come back and give her the money and, rinse and repeat. Those were the people that were, the dope that they were selling, it was crack and weed. And both the crack and the weed that they found on them, both were laced with fentanyl. And then since then, there was, I think, 4 or 5 more arrests since they arrested those 2 people. They arrested those 2 people the day that the overdoses were happening. They have them, on surveillance, the city surveillance cameras. They have them down on surveillance making those transactions. Yep, it was crack and weed that was laced with fentanyl. And so people had no idea that they were about to ingest fentanyl, and it was too late. And so, there's a law here in Texas now that if you sell fentanyl and somebody dies, you can be charged with murder. And so, waiting to see if what they're gonna do with those charges, if they up the charges to murder. But it was the organized crime cops here in Austin that made those busts and those arrests. I guess because they probably got rid of the narcotics unit. Kind of sad that they got rid of the narcotics unit, but they did. So, crazy, man. That fentanyl, I'll tell you what. You know, I don't know. I had fentanyl when I had surgery in December. I had surgery my birthday, December 17th. And I had my knee reconstructed, my right knee, after I'd hurt it last year in a homeless camp, and had surgery in December. And when I came out of surgery, when I was in the recovery room, they gave me a shot of fentanyl. And I can tell you right now that it made me, I can't even explain how stupid it made me. I don't understand how people on the street can ingest fentanyl and still go about their business. Because laying in that hospital bed, and it was a day surgery, I was getting ready to leave, and they'd given me a shot of fentanyl. I didn't even really know who I was for like an hour and a half. And I can't understand how people can do that on the street. Number one point of failure with so many problems in Austin. Oh, yeah. Yeah, public safety is a huge problem here in Austin right now. They've gotten rid of so many units: the DWI enforcement, the narcotics, the mounted police, the motorcycle unit, the traffic units. They're all gone, and people wonder why things are so shitty in this city. The organized crime cops are doing drug busts, you know, and I guess they must have gotten involved because of how many people were dying over the fentanyl. You know, this cop has had his lights on for some time. I saw him pull out of a parking lot with his lights on. I'm not sure what he's doing. I don't think he realizes he has them on. Huh. Interesting. Man, you know, it's such a bummer that we don't have access to the police radios anymore. I can't tell you how much it is screwing Dash over right now. Like, I can't even begin to explain to you just how much it is screwing up what we're doing. Like, we went from having some, money to operate to literally no money to operate within a few weeks. And we always operated on tight margins. We don't take in a whole lot of donations, and running off of, we've been demonetized, and then the police radio fiasco, and it is just killed. It's killing us, like absolutely killing us. And I'm working with some business leaders in the city right now to try to figure this out and try to figure out how to make, I put out that messaging last week. Man, last week was such a bad week. I was ready to give up completely. And but I put out some messaging over it, and some business leaders in the city has reached out to me, and we're talking and working on some ways to make this work. So hopefully we can come up with something pretty soon, because man, it's tough right now. My wife and I are sinking everything we have into making this work, and that's not a smart move. But I mean, you spend 2 years of your life building this, and you spend 2 years working basically 7 days a week trying to make this work, and it's hard to just give it up. Yeah, see, his cop's just rolling around with his lights on here. Not sure what he's doing. I don't think he realizes they're on, to be honest. does the camera pick their lights up? Does the camera pick their lights up pretty decent? I can't tell in my monitor. And plus, I'm colorblind, so I wouldn't be able to tell you if the camera's picking up the colors very well. Oh man, I was disconnected and I didn't even realize it. I'm not sure why we lost connection there. That's interesting. Huh. So I got to drill another hole in the top of this car. I got to reroute the satellite cables. I got to work on that. Yeah, I'm almost certain he doesn't realize that they're on, to be quite honest. I'm losing connection again. What is happening?
It's going to be at the Bayless Fountain Light at 2600 East Fluid Road Parkway, Suite 100. Happened in the parking lot. Immobilized it and a parked vehicle. It's going to be a Toyota SUV. Sorry, I can think where I am.
You'd be shitting bricks? Why is that? I shit peach seeds. I don't shit bricks. Yeah, he's had his lights on all the way. We were back on Burnett Road. Oh, there they go. All right, he figured it out. He figured it out, guys. He figured it out. It's like, yep. He's like the guy that drives with his blinker on, you know? The guy that drives with the blinker on all the time. My wife, she'll see that. Somebody with driving around with their blinker on, and she says it's like stupid. Cherries and berries. That's what my little boy calls them, cherries and berries. I used to work, when I lived up in North Texas, I was with the Sheriff's Department, Collin County Sheriff's Department. And man, it took me so long to get that job back then. I'm going to tell you, it took months. Once I passed the, so you got to take it's kind of like a civil service test. You know, you do physical agility stuff, you do, weight lift. There's a whole range of tests. And once you pass that test, then you get to the application, which is like a book that you fill out, personal history statement, and then that goes to an investigator. They look at your background. They go all the way back and pull your conduct records from when you were in school. And then once they're done with your background investigation, then they bring you in and you've got to do a polygraph exam. And once you do the polygraph exam, if you pass all that, then you go in front of a review board where basically it's a captain and the sheriff and all of these other people. They sit around and they just hammer you with questions. And if you pass that, they send you to the psychological portion of it where you got to go see the psychiatrist. And then once you pass that, you're ready to go. Then you go to the academy, and then you've got a decent job. But policing was a lot different back then. A lot different. That was back right when 9/11 happened. I was a very young man. I was 21, almost 22 years old. Policing is night and day different now from what it used to be. Back then in our cars, we had actual, almost like VCRs under our seat. We had these, and they were locked. You couldn't open them. And we had a monitor, in the car that you could see how much time you had. And when you were getting close, when your tape was almost done, you had to call for a supervisor, and then you would have to meet your supervisor for a tape change, and then he would come and open up the VCR and take your tape out and put a new tape in. A lot has changed. Yep. Sheesh is right. Those tape changes were tedious. You couldn't touch them. Like, if you were just an officer, you had to have your supervisor change the tapes for you. You couldn't do it yourself. I need over before I lose connection on my shadow light by these stupid trees. Yeah, you couldn't touch them if you were just you had to have your supervisor do it. And we didn't wear body cameras then. We wore microphones. You didn't wear body cameras. The only cameras was the cameras that was in your car. Front and back. I think in total, it took me... In total, it took about 4 months to get hired up there. Acevedo still has his cloud hanging over. Austin, you suggest when you think things are bad, they can always get worse. Yeah, Art blocked me back in the day when I was shit posting Adler and him both, when my account was still Make Austin Safe Again. He blocked me, and then he unblocked me, I guess, when he figured out that I was doing this now and not just a shit poster anymore. He unblocked me a while back and then followed me, and we have a chit chat every now and then. Yeah. Art is, I don't know. I'm on the fence about Art. I have the unpopular opinion that I think he would have been good as a city manager, to be honest. I think I was in favor of him being the city manager for one big reason. The police department, the chief, they report to the city manager, right? And I thought that it was important to have a police officer in charge of being the city manager. I thought it was going to be important. He has no qualms about using those people to do. Yeah, he's got his issues, but like I said, I know that my opinion of him is unpopular. Yeah, he didn't do right by the city, but I thought, as like I said, as a city manager, I thought that it was going to be good for public safety. Instead, because of the police department reporting directly to him, I thought it would do quite a bit for the city to have him in that position, but obviously that didn't work out. That's when he unblocked me, by the way. He unblocked me about the time that he was trying to come back to work for the city. Wasn't a city manager position, was it? Was it the city manager position? I can't remember it. Whatever position it was, he knew some things I know about him. I think you yeah, I probably would. I probably would. I mean, you can't know everybody. You know, I mean, I don't know the guy. I just know how he ran the police department before, which was very shady. And but like I said, in my opinion, thought that it was going to be important to have a police officer be over the. Yeah, you're right. It was an assistant, wasn't it? I thought it was going to be good to have him in that position, though. I mean, it's just me, just me. And I still think it would have been good to have him in that position. Have I performed a citizen? No, I have not performed a. I've arrested. I haven't performed a citizen's arrest. Let me tell you guys a story. So, my first experience with a guy on PCP. So, whenever you very first start working at the sheriff's department, or this was in Collin County anyway, you worked in bookend right after you were out of your schooling and all of that, and you were finally in your uniform and you were ready to go. You worked in bookend, so you worked with people being arrested and they were, brought in. There was a man brought in. He was an African American male. He was not large. He was about my size. I'm 6 foot and 220, so he was about my size. But he was on PCP. And when officers on the street are bringing a combative person in, they always, the jail gets a notification ahead of time. So we were all in the Sally Port waiting on him. I got two stories I want to tell you, actually. This guy, when he got into the booking area, he got out of the car fine. We didn't think he was going to be a problem. He got out. We got him into the booking area, and he turned into a problem real quick. It took six of us and a bottle of pepper spray that didn't affect him at all. All it did was pepper spray every one of us. It took six of us to wrestle this guy down just to get him in handcuffs long enough that we could get him in a restraint chair. That's PCP, man. That is PCP. It's horrible. Now, the other story I want to tell you is we had our dare cop. Oh man, I'm not even gonna say his name because anyway, the dare cop he was when I was in school in Melissa. I went to elementary school in Melissa, Texas, little small town. He was a substitute teacher back when I was in school, and I went to school with his son and ended up working in the same police department as him. He was about to retire. He was the cop, the drug cop that went to all the schools in the minivan. Anyway, long story short, right after I started working there, I was still working in bookend in the jail, and he came in. So you don't walk into the jail with your weapon. You put them in a gun box in the Sally Port. And he had been in the jail working with us, talking with us, and he was going back out to leave. So he got into his gun locker and got his pistol out and was going to put his pistol in his holster. And the holster was not made for the pistol that he had, and it actually, a round where I pulled the trigger and went off and shot his big toe off in the Sally Port. I was there. I had been working there maybe a month and a half when that happened. And when you're in that environment and you hear a gun go off, it is extremely frightening, for one. Melissa, that was the ISD that was in the news. Hang on, I'm trying to make it to where okay, we're back. Yes, so back when I was in school up there, back when I was in elementary school there, they didn't even have a high school at the time. This was back in the mid-90s. They didn't even have a high school there at that point. It was just a elementary school and a middle school, and then you had to either go to Anna or McKinney. And so back then they didn't have a high school. So literally in the span of like 15 years, they went from having no high school to being like a super high school with this huge ass stadium that they just built here recently, or are building. I don't think they built it. I think they're actually building it. And it's I think what was like $100 million for that stadium that they're building, something like that. fucking incredible that they're spending that kind of money on a high school football stadium. When I was in high school, we played in a freaking cornfield. So yes, Deputy Martin shot his big toe off on my first month on the job at the Sheriff's Department. It's crazy, man. Shortly after I left the department, there's a little town out in Collin County called Blue Ridge, Texas. And there was a guy out there, lived in a trailer house. It was out in the middle of nowhere. He was a pedophile, and we always couldn't figure out why he lived in a travel trailer out next to his house. But then we found out that he couldn't be around. He had gotten married, and his wife had a young daughter. And when the daughter was at the house, he could not stay in the house because he couldn't be anywhere near children. Well, the guy ended up, something was really, really wrong with the guy. He had some bad mental problems, and he ended up calling the cops one night. He had gotten drunk, calling the cops one night and saying that somebody was breaking into his house and the guy had a gun. That brought a big police response. 3 deputies, because that's all that was really in that area. 3 deputies showed up out there, and when they pulled up in his driveway, they didn't see anybody. The light, it was dark out there, the lights were off, and he had cameras on the outside of his house, and he was watching the cops. One of the cops that was there was Robert Merritt, and I worked with him. I went to high school with him and worked with him, and now he's a canine officer up there. But anyway, he pulled up to the side of the trailer house, in between the trailer house and the travel trailer. Well, when they went to the front door of that house, he ended up taking shots at them with an AK-47. Boom, 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 boom. Long story short, SWAT team ended up being called. It was this big, big mess. They were trying to negotiate with him on the phone because he was back in the house. They didn't realize at the time that he had cameras and he was watching them. And then he's sitting there, drank more beer, got drunker, and he finally walked out the front door with his AK-47, pointed it at the SWAT team, and you know what happened after that. It's like one of the biggest events that happened up there in my time. That happened right after I left the department. It's crazy, man. Suicide by cop. I guess he needed to get drunker to have the courage to go through with it. Crazy stuff. Alright. Let's see what's happening in town right now. Odor investigation. Yeah, public safety in this city is in trouble, man. It just keeps getting worse and worse. And they're graduating academy classes. But they're only graduating, 2 academy classes a year right now? I mean, what is that supposed to do? Anyway, I don't want to get off on that soapbox. Sad. So I'm going to drive up to the Greenbelt, which is in front of us just a little ways, the Barton Creek Greenbelt. I want to check out and see how today's cleanup went. Report on the deadly algae during the summer months. No, I have not reported on that. I guess I probably shouldn't I? See, there's just so much to report on when it comes. So I cover public safety and homelessness. There's just so much to cover. Boy, I just almost got rear-ended. There is so much to cover when it comes to public safety that I miss a lot of things. There's a lot to cover when it comes to public safety. It's the International... Yeah, you're right. It is a struggle session. struggles. It's pretty much everything they do is international that are intended to never end. Well, as of right now, it's never ending for sure. Hey, there's a homeless guy over there doing jumping jacks. That's interesting. So, hey, there is a report. So this guy that's down in this area that is attacking women. I have his picture. I'm gonna post a picture of him. If you guys see this guy, you need to call the cops. He's black male, very skinny, and he is attacking women down here in the Lamar area, the Zilker area, Barton Hills. I have a picture of him that he looks like he's carrying some kind of a radiator, maybe for scrap or whatever, but people in this area need to be aware that he is free, he is out, and he is actively attacking women. Why he's just attacking women, unless he's just a pussy, I don't know. But people down here really need to know that this guy is out and he's causing trouble and hurting people. There are plenty of people that are either compliant or oblivious. Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, I don't know, man. It's like I was talking with the security guard at the Brody Oaks or the shopping center, or that little area that the Barton Creek Greenbelt butts up to. It's got the Brody Oaks Dental. I was talking to him this morning, and we were talking about the police response. Like, if he ever needs the cops to come out, if there's a trespasser, somebody causing trouble, whatever, it takes them forever to get there. So if they're going to try to criminal trespass, there has to be a criminal trespass ticket issued, and they've got to be warned and allowed to leave. Now, if they come back after that, then they can be arrested for it. Now we've got, are we back? Yeah. And if they come back after that, then they can be arrested. And he was telling me that it takes the cops so long to respond now. We're talking like hours. That what's the point? Like, at that point, the person's just already gone. So there's no trespass warning issued. And, so like, what's the point of even calling? What's the point of wasting that time? And the only way that he can actually get a response in a decent amount of time from the police is if he tells them somebody's being violent or, whatever. And then he gets a response, but even then it takes 20, 25 minutes for them to get there. The day that we called the cops at the Barton Creek Greenbelt because somebody was firing off shots, we heard a big argument happening, and then somebody started firing off shots very close to us. The day that happened, and I called 911 and told them, like, look, somebody's firing shots out here. We need help. It still took them 15 minutes to get there. And it's, I don't know, very, very shitty. And even then, even when they came, Trevor from Nomadic, we explained to him what happened. There's been an argument, a big-ass fight happening for an hour. We heard gunshots. All of a sudden, nobody's fighting anymore. So they walk in there for about 30 seconds and then come back and say, yeah, nobody's hurt. We don't see anybody hurt. And it's like, how much of this homeless camp, I know how big that homeless camp is. How much of that homeless camp could you have possibly looked at? It's crazy, man. And I don't want to dog on the cops, because the cops, the street cops, they're doing the best they can with what they have, and they don't have much to do it with. They come on duty, and they're literally chasing the radio from the minute they clock in to the minute they clock out. So, it's not like they have a shit ton of time to spend at each call. I don't know. I'll get off my soapbox. I'm sorry. Plenty of people that either come or live in it, they wouldn't have issues to fill the void. Yeah, sadly, zero. You're right. But anyway, the city's got its fair share of problems. But at the same time, the city's got its fair share of problems. But I love this city. This city is an awesome city. It's got a lot to offer people. And I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, to be quite honest. Not only because, the business that I'm building, I mean, it's kind of easy to build this kind of a media company here because, I mean, the content kind of makes itself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have content most of the time, and but other than that, I mean, I still think that this area, Austin is such an awesome city. You know, it's like hippies and businessmen mixed together. Hippies and businessmen. So check this out. The guy that, the man that owns this, the old man that owns all of this whole shopping center, his son, I met his son out here a few weeks ago, and we exchanged phone numbers. And he called me the other day and wanted me to take him back down into the Greenbelt since the city has cleaned. He wants to see what it is that they've been able to accomplish out here. And well, you know what? They were right here this morning, and let's go over to the other side. That other side, I don't want to walk down in there because it's so muddy right now, but I want to come down here and make a video in the morning. Maybe it'll be a little drier by then. But over here on the other side is where the mess was at this morning. Let's see if they've done it. No, they haven't done anything over here. Looks like either somebody is moving shit in or maybe moving stuff out. And let's talk to this lady. I think this lady's name is Mary. Hey there, young lady. Hey, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Oh, hey.
Hey, yeah, you're like, I'm fine. Get away from me. No, I'm just checking on you, see how you're doing.
I was wondering, did you ever check on that, or was it you?
Yeah, it was me. Not a whole lot right now.
Okay.
Yeah. You doing all right?
Yeah, can I get a cigarette off you?
You can, absolutely.
So sorry.
You know, you don't apologize. You need anything else other than smokes?
Something to drink, I'm dying.
I'll tell you what do you want? You want water or you want like
Coke.
soda?
Fountain
Okay.
drink, if you can.
Yeah, give me a minute. I'll go get you. You're going to be here for about 10,
Yeah,
15 minutes?
yeah.
Okay, give me a sec. I'll get you a pack of smokes too. Menthol or regular?
Regular.
You got it. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, guys. I'm going to go buy this lady something to drink and a pack of smokes. Man, sometimes people just need hope. And what is, a $6, cheap pack of smokes is enough to give somebody some kind of hope that people still care. There's not too many outreach, people that will just turn around and go to the store and buy them a Coke and a pack of smokes. You know what I mean? So, and we call it hope dope. And I think it's important, man, to give people that kind of hope. I think it's really important. So we take in, Dash takes in donations. We probably bring in maybe $100 to $200 a month in donations. It's not a whole lot, but I use that money to buy water, snacks, socks, and to do stuff like this. If I have any extra left over, I'll buy somebody a pack of smokes or whatever. And it's just, I don't know, man. It helps. It helps. Oh, come on, dude. I hope we haven't lost connection, y'all. If we have, I'm sorry. We have. Shit. Well, we're back on, I guess. Alright. Wonder where the closest store is. I guess it would be right down Lamar, actually. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be doing all this. I don't know. But I know when I was on the street down here for the few months that I was on the street, if somebody would have stopped and offered to buy me a Coke, it would have, I don't know, man. I view what I'm doing right now through the lens of what I was doing, how I would have felt. And I can tell you right now, knowing what it feels like to sleep outside and have normal everyday people look at you like you're, gum on the bottom of somebody's shoe, I can tell you how that made me feel. And if somebody would care enough to come and check on me, buy me a pack of smokes and, a soda, it would have made all the difference. It would have made me feel a lot better. It just, I don't know, it gives people hope that humanity, that maybe there's a way to pull out of this. I don't know. When we get back over there, I'm going to talk to her about rehab. We'll see if we can't get another person into rehab. Okay, I'll tell you what. If you guys can watch the car real quick and let me go in here and buy a Coke. Don't let anybody steal the car. I'm counting on you. You let somebody steal the car, at least, send me a message and tell me where they're at. Tell me where my car is at. Let's see. Okay, y'all watch the car. I'll be right back.
County back to 3 Charlie 33. It is going to be the same crash that APD has on Burleson. I'll go ahead and show you, Tenny.
Dispatch is 252. It's just Burleson Road, not Burleson Manor, sorry.
No, I understand, sir. The 7500 Burleson is not popping. It's going to be different numbers on Burleson Road there.
Where do you see that got tell up?
Patrol Medic 30, responding 4200 Shallow Brook Trail.
Reese 30, you'll be back up 20 on scene back on these.
Firecom East Medic 28, you can cancel that second unit, and then if our patients want to go to the hospital today.
Appreciate Medic 28. Medic 30, are you direct? Medic 30, you can cancel. Medic 28 will handle. Engine 22, Fire Dispatch. If you're going to be on Burleson Road, I believe this is going to be the city.
731 to 777.
Reese, that's affirmed. That address looks good.
Go for 777.
Thank you.
Alright, what does y'all need over there? Do y'all need any evacuation for fire department or anything?
That's a negative. We're just standing by at this moment. It's going to be a small gas leak, not affecting the atmosphere or anything.
Medical letter 1.
31, that's 10-4.
749. Their device can only detect it inside the hole. They can't detect it above it or anything. They said it's a very small leak.
That's clear.
Engine 11 from ladder 1. Is you have traffic? Kind of broken there.
Central booking, starting mileage 886.
10-4.
Yeah, ladder 1, engine 11. You guys can cancel. Nobody's in the elevator. Ladder 1 received. Thank you.
We get an additional 15 minutes for patient stuff.
additional 15 for delayed offload.
Seven
Medcom engine 25.
779.
25.
On a 38-year-old male.
779.
Composition.
Card. With the subject matching description. Receive 9289 yard.
All right, how'd we do? Anybody take the car?
Here you go, babe.
I don't think so. Anybody mess with the car?
And service 127.
Receive engine 25.
All right.
Time is as for a 38-year-old male decomp. Personnel 2503.
1048.
Time is as 1749. 1749.
1040. Put it back home.
Alright, I need...
Holding.
Okay, let's go take the cancer sticks back to the young lady and see if we can't talk her into rehab.
13 from District 3 on North.
If she would accept rehab,
15, go ahead.
I can't take her right now because they only accept people in the morning times. But we would come back down here in the morning, pick her up, and take her and check her into Centacor and make sure that she gets help.
79. Can you log one out of California by number?
Medic 10, right to station 941 Screen Hollow.
Go ahead. Young, 16.
It would be really awesome to get 2 people into rehab within the same week.
And just log, or you
That
need to
would be
return?
awesome.
No, I like this.
You can go with the return. Where is it?
Get some of these people off of the dope. So sick and tired of drugs, man, and
820.
what it does to society. It's horrible.
Go.
Really, man. I mean, I'm sick and tired of the dope and seeing what it does to people, and people dying because of fentanyl overdoses, and it's it's heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. And there's so many people driving around this city right now that pass these people on the street. Nobody gives them a second look. Nobody cares. And man, I'm kind of sick of I gotta stop. I'm getting worked up, boys. Getting worked up. We live in a very progressive city, right? Where they're supposed to care about people. But we just drive by people killing themselves. Do you know more people are dying right now of fentanyl overdoses in the last year than the amount of people that died in the World Trade Center? We went to war over the amount of people that died in the World Trade Center. But fentanyl, nah, we can't do anything about it. We don't want to do anything about it. We're protesting in Gaza about Gaza. We're protesting, man, but nobody's protesting. Nobody's, having an outcry about the fentanyl epidemic. Donald Trump gets back into office. He says that he will use the military to go after the cartels. Well, you know what? If that's the case, that right there is enough for me to vote for him. If he can stop the flow of the dope into this country. I talk to these people every day out here that are on fentanyl, that are on meth. And look, here's more people. Look, they're moving into the Greenbelt right now. This is where the city has just cleaned this area out. and they are moving back in over there right now. We're about to go talk to them, y'all. Hang on, let me take this over to this girl, and we're going to go find out if they're moving in or moving out. I guarantee you they're moving in. What do you want to bet? What do you want to bet? The city cleaned that side out, so they're going to come right in. Let's see, is she even here still? Let's see if we can't talk to her. I was gonna talk to her about rehab, but I want to talk to these guys over here. So I'm gonna minimize the my OBS app. I don't want them to see that I'm streaming. I want them to be able to talk to me, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna minimize this real quick. I'm gonna turn the volume up, that way you guys can hear what they're saying. And then, so I want y'all to hear what they say. So I'm gonna minimize this real quick. What's up? What you guys up to? Where's that at? Back over? They're kicking them out over there too, huh? Well, I think they're done with this side over here. That makes sense, yeah. Yeah, instead of, well, I was over there looking this morning. It looks like they just spread stuff around over there instead. That's crazy. Well, I'll bring you guys some water and some smokes down in the morning. Y'all gonna be here tomorrow in the morning? All right, I'll be by here probably 9:30. It's 10 o'clock. How far down are y'all going? Yeah. Yeah. So, Pat, okay. I'll walk down. Is it really muddy down there right now? I bet it is. Yeah. All right. I'll talk to you guys in the morning. What's that? Big boots and long pants. All right, well, you guys be safe. We'll talk to y'all in the morning.
We are. Thank you, sir. Sorry.
So, yeah, they're moving back in, guys. They are moving back in. That didn't take long, did it? I'm gonna bring them some water and stuff. It didn't take them long to move back in. We're gonna go down and check at Congress, down on Congress Avenue. Apparently, right down there, the cops are making everybody move from there too right now. So, yeah. Yep. So apparently the city told them that what they were just telling me is if they are past a certain point down into the green belt there, that the city's not cleaning that. And I knew that was the case because you get so far off down in there, there's not a whole lot they can, I mean, it would be impossible to clean that. So it looks like they're not even going to attempt it. And I don't blame them. It's treacherous and steep, and yeah, it's bad. But it didn't take people long to start moving back in. Sure didn't. And you know, I feel for these guys. I really do. You know, I mean, they have nowhere to go. And the only thing that kills me is they half of the people out here tell me they were offered housing. These people told me last week they were not offered housing. So I don't know. Maybe they weren't there when the city came to offer housing, or maybe they're just lying to me. That's another huge problem in the homeless community, is you never know when somebody's telling you the truth or not. And yeah, so yeah, you never know. You never know if you're being lied to. And I mean, my thing is if we could get more people off of the dope, they would be more successful in being housed. And that's the thing that the city of Austin is not doing. They're just offering housing. They're not offering any kind of services to help them straighten their life out. There's a reason that people are homeless, whether it's drug and alcohol addiction or mental health issues. Those are the three main reasons that most people are homeless: drug, alcohol addiction, and mental health issues. And if you're going to try to solve homelessness, symptoms of it, you know, and if you want housing, there needs to be, you know, stipulations. You've got to be in rehab if you're on drugs. You've got to be in rehab if you're on alcohol. You know, it can't just be a free ride all the time. You've got to, you got to want to work at it. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. All I know is what we're doing right now is not going to work. If they would start offering more services, more services to help treat the symptoms and causes of homelessness, the more successful they would be. $500 million spent in the last 2 years, 200 people housed. Now, by what metric is that considered a success? I mean, honest to God, there are thousands of homeless people out on the street, and 200 in the last 2 years have been successfully housed, and we've spent over $500 million. I don't know, you know, if you were running a company, if you were a CEO, whatever, I can't imagine that would ever be considered successful. So, I don't know. I'll get off my soapbox about that too. You guys hear me bitch about that enough? But I am going to post about just talked to some people that are moving into the area the city has already cleaned successfully. Now we're reconnected. So anyway, we're gonna go down here to Congress and Ben White, where this these folks just told me that the cops are making these people move too, which I'm not aware of an encampment that is on Congress. Interesting. We'll need to go down here and take a look. Now there is a pedestrian bridge back there that people were starting to move into. And then apparently there's areas over by Barton Creek Mall, Barton Square Mall, whatever it's called. There's camps over in that area too. And I have not documented any camps over there. I need to get over there and document those. Is it off now? Oh shit, Zero, you sent that way earlier. I'm sorry, I didn't even see it. Hey there. I'm in South Austin if you're free. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't see, I just saw that you had sent that way earlier. I apologize. I didn't even see that I had a message. At this point, I'm getting probably 10, sometimes more, people DMing me a day, and X doesn't always, at a certain point, it stops notifying me. Yeah, these people are, I mean, they're not moved out, but no, they're definitely not moved out. Huh. The only other encampment that I know about in this area is back down towards the Walmart at 35 and Ben White. Yeah, it's there's no rhyme or reason that I can figure out to how X is notifying. It's like sometimes I'll send a notification, sometimes they won't. Woodward, there used to be an encampment on Woodward. Let's drive down Woodward and see if there's that encampment still there. I think the city cleaned it out. It was right in front of the Home Depot. Let's go over there and look real quick then. I'm not going to go down into any encampments right now because I don't have anybody with me. But it doesn't hurt to scope some of these places. Actually, I see some cops up there. Let's see what's happening up in front of us. There's... Alright. Boy, he's... Are we live? Can y'all hear me? My computer just fell off its mount, so I apologize. Are we live? Okay. I can't tell if he went back towards... I think he went this way. We're gonna go this way. think he went this way. Yeah, I don't know. My whole computer fell off. My whole computer just fell off its mount when I made that sudden turn. I think he went this way, but I'm not going to find this guy. Holy shit, look at that, y'all. Y'all see that? Look at all those Cybertrucks. Big, beautiful Cybertrucks. Look at there. Man. You know, I don't like them. I think they're ugly, but I want one just because I want one. Big old Cybertrucks. Yeah, we'll never find them. Let me check. Let's see if... Traffic injury. Oh shit, that's where he was going. Hang on. Now I see where he's going. 6705. 6705. South. Yep. That's where he was going. You know what? I just messed up and went the wrong way. I know where we're going, boys. Oh, nope. Nope. I see where they're going. I see where they're going. I think I know exactly what's happening. So check this out. Come on, people. I just saw another cop go this way. I think I know what's happening. I think they're going back over towards the Greenbelt. When I was leaving from the Greenbelt a second ago, the security guy was pulling up over there, and the homeless folks, I heard them getting loud with him. I hope they didn't start fighting the security guy. But you know, the homeless folks I was just talking to over there, they are pretty level-headed, calm people. I can't imagine they would cause trouble to... I just can't imagine that they would cause trouble to him. But we're going to go drive through again and see what just happened. Oh no, they won't blame me. They won't blame me for. They know I'm not going to call the cops on them. I've known these people out here for a hot minute now. But I just saw another cop turn down and come this way. And I don't see him down Lamar. Man, that bus is loud. Let's see. We're going to go in this way. So this is the problem without having police radios. This is the problem. Yeah, it's a wild goose chase. Yeah, I mean, the chances that this is where they're at is actually very slim, but let's see. Yeah, this is definitely not where they're at. Hey, did the cops just pull through here going pretty fast a second ago? All right, cool.
That security guard came in behind you.
Yeah, no, I saw that's why I thought they were.
Taking pictures and talking shit.
He did?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I saw the cops coming with their lights on this way. I thought they might have been coming over here. All right. Cool, guys. Well, y'all be safe. I'll holler at y'all in the morning.
All right.
Yeah, they didn't come over here. We'll never figure out where they're going, but they were going somewhere really, really fast. I can tell you that much. There is a traffic, let's see, traffic injury, priority 4F. There's another one on Burleson. You know, I see these same homeless people all the time. I'm starting to recognize them by sight now, and that's, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. We will go back the way we were just going. We'll go down to that major accident on Congress is what we'll do. Man, I cannot believe my computer. Man, I'm so surprised that didn't just break my camera or the connector on my camera, because my computer fell off its mount when I hit that curb. Not the curb, but that dip. Let's see. No police radios. What's happening? You know, at least we still have Travis County, right?
Jones 42 on traffic, 18,600 block FM 1431.
Zero, you should come out and stream with me some. I think you'd have a good time. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's roll, let's roll, let's roll. It's fire alarm on Lamar. Did y'all hear what they just told me about the oh shit, the security guard taking their pictures? I know that the security manager for this complex here, and he wouldn't have done that. I work with too many of the leftards and they pin me. It could be a problem. You can stay anonymous even in here, man. You don't have to be on camera. Believe me, I pick up my fair share of hate. I hate it, but I guess it's what do they call it? A job hazard, or I don't know. It's something. Let me tell you guys something. There's a gas station kind of out by where I live, and they sell these undershirts in there. They are 100% cotton, style wear, very off-brand of shirt, but it is the absolute only undershirt that I will wear. They're nice and tough and thick, 100% cotton, so they wick away sweat. I buy every one of my undershirts from there now, and they are like $7 a piece, but they are well worth the price. They're made in Pakistan, but they are solid as a rock as a shirt goes. I bought a couple more of them tonight. Round neck t-shirt. That's what it's called. Style wear round neck t-shirts. And believe me, when you're working in the homeless camps in the summertime, you gotta have 100% cotton. must be cotton. And you know, the thing my wife does with laundry, and I love it, sometimes, you know, we just bought a new set of washer and dryer. It's the washer and dryer, the Samsung, you know, that connects to the internet for some stupid reason. But on occasion she'll take my clothes and she'll hang them on the line out in the back, because I love the way the clothes smell when they've been dried outside. God, they smell so good. Especially when she starches my shirts and then hangs them up to dry outside. Oh, they smell so good. It's like you can smell the sun. Yep. I mean, why would you want a washer and dryer to connect to the internet? I don't get it. I've never found a reason that I would need a washer connected to the internet. But, you know, much like everything else that's happening now, like our icebox connects to the internet, our washer and dryer connects to the internet, our thermostats connect to the internet. When we got this place, it had those, what do you call them? I think it's called like it's the Google thermostat thing. I think it's called a Nest, if I'm not mistaken. But, you know, I can turn my air on and off from right here and from where I'm sitting. And that's a little freaky, man. I don't want a smart house. You know, isn't that what they're calling them now? The smart homes or whatever? I don't like the fact that Google probably has access to my, you know, heating and cooling records. So we're probably going to get rid of the Google thermostat, or I think it's a Google thermostat. I could be wrong. I do know it connects to the internet though. And my Samsung washer and dryer, like I said, I have no idea why they connect to the internet. And so they can control your AC when they want. You do not use it. Well, I'll tell you what, I would be happy to turn my internet off. It's getting a little freaky how connected everything is. You know what I mean? Like, everything is connected. My watch connected to my phone. My watch connects to the Wi-Fi. AC and heating connects to the Wi-Fi. Washer and dryer, Wi-Fi. My icebox is connected to the Wi-Fi. Why do I need an icebox connected to the Wi-Fi? All it does is tell me if something's, you know, I'll get an alert on my phone if something's wrong with my icebox. I had an old Honeywell like that, but they finally terminated service. Hardware too old, can't update. Yeah, and see, I'm not an AC or heat person, and that's why I'm scared to jack with the thermostat. I don't want to end up breaking my heat or AC. That's how secure the routers are now. Yeah, you know, the guys at Nomadic, Morgan and Trevor, those guys are so smart that they make me feel stupid just being around them. Hearing the stuff, like, look, you know, I can't wait to get these guys on a stream so we can talk about how AI, you know, everybody says AI is dangerous, but I didn't realize in what way AI is actually dangerous. It's not in the way that I thought. It's not like AI is going to take over the world and start a war. It's other things that AI is capable of, and you know, it's like, and if I could remember right now, we talked about how they're using AI when it comes to like OnlyFans, and I mean, look, a lot of the stuff that people are, you know, a lot of the videos on the internet that go viral are AI created. You know, everything about them is created from AI, from the graphics to the scripts, everything. I use AI when I'm writing. So last year when I was writing the Austin After Dark True Crime series, the videos that I'm going to be releasing soon, I'm not a very good writer. So when I was writing the scripts to them, if I would get stuck on a point, I would use AI to give me hints, give me tips on, what direction to take a video. And it makes me sad that I did that. But, I mean, it's there. It's a tool that can be used. Now, it's obvious, I think, when you let AI actually write scripts for you, I think it's pretty obvious, or it should be pretty obvious that that's what's happening. I mean, maybe it's not so obvious, but I think it's kind of shady if a writer uses AI to write a script, write a book, write an article, write whatever, and then pass it off as their own. That's really shitty. And that's why I want to tell people that, yes, I did use AI, for ideas on these videos. Like, you can go to Grok and ask them, about, let's say, the Servant Girl Annihilator. What elements to that story would make a viral video? You can ask it that, and it'll blatantly tell you. You can ask Grok, write me a engaging tweet, about a certain topic, and it will. And it's just, I don't know. AI is kind of dumb when it comes to that. But there have been people that use AI to write books for a few years, crank them out and sell them on Amazon. And that's so shady, man. Look, I get it. I mean, if you're going to use AI to write a book and you tell people that, look, part of this book was written by AI or some of this was written or whatever. But if you're going to literally take AI to write a book and not tell anybody and pass it off as your own, I mean, man, morally, you are a morally bankrupt person and you're not to be trusted. But in the digital world we live in, man, I'm sure it happens much more often than it doesn't. It's just shady. But one thing I have found out about, AI, researching some of these crimes is that you got to be very careful. You got to be very, very careful about the facts because the AI is not always right. It does get a lot of the facts wrong. But, AI is a great tool when you are researching to ask it questions about a certain crime. Like, I'm researching the IRS building, where the dude flew his plane into the IRS building here in Austin. I want to make a video about that. And, I'm in the process of making a video on Charles Whitman and what he did. And, I ask AI questions about it, and it's usually pretty accurate. Let's see, Dr. Milestones was the name I found a while back while researching something. A guy cranked one out about fires in Maui. Yeah, man. Oh, those fires in Maui. Holy shit, I've been reading a lot about that here recently, and boy, that's a messed up situation out there, man. There's still thousands of people that's still to this day homeless after that fire. Still to this day, they're homeless. But the Obamas, they didn't lose their place out there. No. The Obamas are safe, boys. I believe what he does is find a topic that is hot, and then it goes out, pulls down all that's written on the net about the subject, and then flips a switch and tells it. Yeah, that makes sense. But, the thing is, like ChatGPT, it says, like, if I search... So I I'm a subscriber to ChatGPT, so it doesn't limit my searches, and it'll tell you like my database is only I'm only up to date to like 2021 or whatever it is. Here we go. Here's the rec. It'll tell you it's only up to date to a certain point, but then if I ask it to go out, I mean it's obvious that it is using the internet for certain things, and even though they say it's not, it is. We're gonna pull in here. I don't know what's happening here. He's still blowing a siren. I don't see any wrecked cars though, guys. What in the world's happening? I see a couple of cops, an ambulance, but I don't see any wrecked cars. Trippy's Smoke Shop. I'll take a video of this for interesting. There's a cop in the middle of the road, and they got the parking lot blocked. Probably. I don't see any wrecked cars though. That's the odd thing. There's obviously a patient in the ambulance back there, but let me see here. What am I doing? Oh, trying to figure out. Hang on, I gotta message this video to sorry, I had to message that video up to my editor at Citizen. Yeah, I don't know. There's a patient in the ambulance, I believe. They're back there working on somebody, but there's no wrecked cars. That's it's interesting. What is this, William Cannon? It was a Trippy's customer. You know what kills me about going into like these smoke shops and like gas stations and such? There's so much weed in these gas stations now and in like the smoke shops. You know, like 5 years ago, you would never see that. You would never see it. And now it's like there's weed everywhere. So literally, and like the gas station out by my place, they actually sell like weed, like flour. You know what I mean? It's like in these like little medicine containers. And if you wanted to, anybody could like sell that stuff, but have also a, you know, like real weed or whatever you want to call it, and sell it at the same time out of there. And no, who would ever know? Who would ever know? What's my stance on weed legalization? I think it should be legal. So look, y'all want me to tell you my? I've got a take on dope that is not very. You guys are not going to like my take on the drug epidemic. I think weed should absolutely be legal. I think it should be regulated by age, but it definitely should not be illegal like it is. I don't smoke weed and I never have. I've never liked weed at all, but I still don't think it should be illegal. These other drugs that are out and about right now, other than fentanyl. Fentanyl is the devil, and anybody that's selling it should get the death penalty. But things like, the other drugs, the war on drugs has been such a failure. It's like the homeless problem. We're doing the exact same thing with the homeless problem that we have been doing forever, and it's getting us nowhere. The same thing with the war on drugs. It's getting nowhere. We're not solving anything. It's just getting worse. So they should either just be made legal across the board, or we should be trying to absolutely cut it off at the neck and taking out, like, you know, the cartel down in Mexico. You know, I think if you made drugs, you know, you're not gonna go to prison for them. You know, I think things would be a lot better in the country. I really do. I'm not a big fan of government over-regulation on everything. I don't think, you know, if you choose to do drugs and you ruin your life and you end up on the street, I don't think that, you know, the public has an obligation to help you. But I also don't think it's the government's place to tell me what I can and can't put in my body either. So, do not rake me over the coals for my view on drugs, because it's completely opposite to what most people's views are. Especially most moderates, most conservatives, and right-leaning people have a completely different view than I have on drugs. You're the best. Thank you. So, I wonder how many followers I'm going to lose now that I have let the cat out of the bag that I do not favor sending people to prison over dope. I just think it's dumb, you know, to send your average person to prison for a long time because they got caught with some dope. I think that's completely backwards. Maybe, you know, forcing people, you know, mandated rehab, things like that, I think is a better option than locking someone up. All prison does is make criminals worse. Yeah. If you're killing people, I mean, look, we know dealers are, they only care about themselves. They care about money and they care about themselves. I think if you know, I don't agree with sending, like I said, just like you and I. If you and I were out on the street and we got caught with, you know, a gram of coke, you know, we would probably go to jail for a while. And I think that's completely backwards. Yes, the people that are pushing these dangerous drugs, and, you know, there's no controls over it at all. There's no age limits. There's nothing. Yeah, there definitely is penalties for that. But, you know, just Joe Blow on the street that got high, or he's, you know, got caught with some blow or got caught with some heroin, I think it's completely ass backwards to send that person to prison. You know, there's other ways to handle that. If the person has a drug problem, to where, you know, they're addicted, then they should be made, instead of going to jail for a year, put them in rehab and help them get better. You put them in jail and, you know, there's a chance that they could become worse. They could become actual criminals instead of just a dope head, you know? We all know that prison creates more criminals. Prison's not a good place. Prison is full of criminals. Criminals do criminal things. You go to prison, you learn how to be a criminal. You know, I worked in the legal system when I was younger. I worked, you know, like I said, in law enforcement. And, you know, I don't know. I think our legal system is kind of jacked in this country anyway. It's definitely two-tiered. You know, there is a legal system for them, and then there's a legal system for them, and then there's a legal system for you and I. And you and I are never going to get the benefit of the doubt when it comes to that, if that makes any sense. But yeah, dealers, people that are hurting people intentionally should definitely be held accountable for that. I just think that, you know, let's say, you know, this guy in the car in front of me, if he got caught with a little blow, I don't think he should be put in jail for that. I think there should be other things that, you know, like I said, if he's got a problem, force him into rehab to get cleaned up. Better ways to handle certain things than prison, in my opinion. But again, I hope you guys don't stop following me because I said that. That's why it kills me when people come at me and try to call me a radical or what. I mean, I have very liberal views on certain things. I just want the government to leave us all alone. I don't want the government in my life at all. I guess, what is that, libertarian? I don't want the government in my life, period. I don't agree with taxes. I don't agree with any of that stuff. But oh man, CPR in progress.
CPR in progress, APD on scene. Do you guys need another fire unit?
Shit.
Control 15, we're clear.
15.
We're gonna head up north. Guys, we have been live for almost 2 hours tonight. I will be back out here in the morning. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream now. I don't even know why I came out. I was gonna come out to cover the weather tonight. I was gonna come out and cover the weather tonight, and obviously the weather, we dodged a bullet, so I decided to come out and stream for a bit. So stream for 2 hours tonight, which is a good night. But I appreciate everyone watching, commenting. I appreciate it very, very much. The Professional, Zero, Deborah Sullivan, thank you very much over on YouTube. You guys are awesome. Deborah, Zero, Professional, you guys have been around for a long time. I really appreciate it. If you guys ever need anything from me, if I can ever help you guys with anything, please let me know. And I will do my best to help you guys any way I can. I will